Thanks for taking the time to talk to us today. How are you feeling?
I am feeling amazing on cloud nine. How are you?
Very good, thanks. I know it's a little bit early and you've only had a short time to think about it, but any idea what you're going to spend that money on?
um, Probably put a lot of it into savings and
Right.
bills because coming here, I spent a lot of money and
Mhm.
had a lot of bills that I still had to pay while not making any money, really. So put that back into what I've probably lost, and then whatever's left over, savings because I am young and I'm sure I will go through some things. And then two or three, I guess, iced coffees. I miss some good iced coffees, and I know my money will go well spent to that.
Now, you've probably been asked this a million times, but do you
Let me hear.
regret picking Chelsea over Cam?
No, and that surprises people every day. People are surprised that I chose her. People are surprised that I don't regret it. Choosing Chelsea was a testament to my game and to me as a player.
Right.
It is something that I walked into the house saying I wanted to do, which was be loyal and go against the best competitors in the house. And that is exactly what I did. And I stood by that. And that shows a lot of integrity and character. And making that decision was a win for me because it gave light to another amazing player and woman that I respect a lot. And she deserved to win. I'm not going to lie. If I was in jury, I would have voted for her because dang, she ate me up in those questions. Her, yeah, she did great. So I'm not mad about it. I am very thankful and blessed for coming in second and receiving the prize that I did, as well as receiving the validation within myself that I played a great game.
Now, were you surprised at the final vote that it was unanimous? Because I'm sure you were expecting some votes for some of your close allies.
I did hope that I would get
Yeah.
just one, because I went through it in that house, and I was like, nobody's gonna give me any recognition with how much I did. None, none. Um, but that's okay. I really thought that maybe I would get Leah or Quinn or Angela. Maybe not all of them. Maybe even Rabina. Not
Right.
all of them together. But those are the people that I was kind of hoping or praying that maybe would lean towards me.
Yeah.
They didn't, and that's okay because, like I've said this a million times, I don't need other people's votes or validation to know
Yeah.
that I've played an incredible game. Um, I Me getting to the end by
Yeah.
myself is me playing an incredible game.
Well,
So
speaking of your game, I mean, at the beginning, you competed in the competitions and you were a little bit tentative at first. Even other people were saying, like, maybe she's getting into her own head. And then you found your rhythm and then you had win after win after win. What's turned that switch on for you? What happened? Because you totally flipped.
I think that I came into this house and was pushed into a corner.
Right.
And I let myself be pushed into a corner. And I listened to the ideas of other people, and I felt very unaware
Mhm.
and just not able to control myself and what I was doing. I was very nervous. I was
Right.
very anxious, very stressed, and I wasn't as confident as I could have been.
Yeah.
And through the first 4 weeks, I held myself back because I felt like that's what I needed to do because
Right.
that's what everybody else was doing, was pushing me to the side. I was like, maybe this is just the path I take. I just pull myself back and I let myself try not to be seen as a threat. Don't make any big moves. Don't make it worse than it already is. And then I had a realization that, you know what? I don't have to be in a corner. I don't have to listen to other people. And I can go and win by myself. And when I had that perspective change of myself, that's when I really allowed my true abilities to show because then I wasn't scared. And I did what I wanted to do, which was win, prove people wrong, and be a comp beast.
Now, you had a great success at the comps. On the other side of the scale, we have Cam who didn't do so well. go competing against him, being with him. What do you think happened? Like, again, you're an athlete also,
Yes.
and you got to compete against. What was happening on his side? What could you see that maybe he couldn't?
Um, I honestly don't know. I can't tell you why he did so poorly. I wish I could because I wanted to know why he was doing so poorly. For a bit there, I thought he was throwing them. And honestly, he might have been throwing them because
Right.
I do know that there was a conversation between him and Chelsea where he had stated that he thought that he had Chelsea and I wrapped around his little finger. And
Mhm.
the thing is that's not true at all. I didn't keep him because he was flirting with me and giving me validation. I don't need that. I've got that by myself. I know I'm great. I know I can do a lot. That is in my confidence, like I said.
Yeah.
But what I did want was somebody who would be a vote for me, who would listen to me, and who I could beat. And that's exactly what I kept around. And if he would try and spin that narrative, I would throw it right back on him because guess who was laying in my lap every week?
Now, talking about moves, I mean, you did pivot a game, and then another time you pivoted is when, Leah seemed to be on your side and you got her out.
Yeah.
Explain why you just because again, you picked a path at that point. You said, I'm okay, I'm going to go on this path now, and
Yeah.
I'm torching this one. Why did you make that decision? What was going through your mind?
So I was the middleman between two
Right.
people that I loved dearly. I had Chelsea in one ear, Leah in the other. And it was getting to a point where I was going to have to make a decision on which way I wanted to go.
Yeah.
And I had already been shown loyalty by Chelsea. And I believed that her words were true to me. And I think that her actions showed that as well. And I knew where her head was at more than I knew where Leah's head was at in a game sense. So personally, I did not want to make that move on Leah. I did not want to get her out. I did not want to have a bitter jury member in that sense. In a game sense, for my safety and for Chelsea's safety, who in turn, Chelsea's safety kept me safe.
Mhm.
So I needed her there. So making that move wasn't for Chelsea. It was for myself and Chelsea. And a lot of people thought that it was just for Chelsea. And that's where I think that people forgot to realize that I was being a loyal player, a partner in this game. And that when you do play that game of loyalty and trying to get not just yourself, but others to the end,
Yeah.
you make decisions not just for yourself, but others. And that is exactly what I did. So, no, Chelsea did not manipulate me into putting Leah up. Did she give me good points on why? Yes. Did I already know that before? Yes, I am not stupid. I am not. I can see Leah's game. But because of my personal connection to her, I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to recognize it. But she allowed me to even more. And I was like, you know what? Screw personal decision. I'm going to do what's best for my game right now. And that's sticking to my gut and sticking to somebody who I know where she's at and that she will protect me. And I put Leah up. And that was, again, not by Chelsea. It was by me. I'm the one that had the power that whole entire week. Me changing my mind is not because somebody said some words. Me changing my mind is because I reevaluated my game and I saw where I wanted to go. And that decision did benefit me the most because I won the final HOH and I got to choose my decision. And choosing Chelsea, yes, people don't understand, but I did it. But I was the one that did it. I'm the one that got myself to the end. And getting there only would have happened by taking Leah out.
Now, the one connection you had with Chelsea is again, faith is very prominent in your life. It means a lot
Yes.
to you. Now, here you are. I asked Chelsea the same question, but here you are playing, a faith-based person, and you're in a game that's very cutthroat, can be very nasty at times. How were you able to balance your personal faith with the game? Because that's from in the past talking to people, that can be very difficult for a lot of people.
It is. Um, it is very difficult to navigate. And one reason why it wasn't too difficult for me was because I started digging into my faith very hard right before I came into this experience. And I had a long conversation with myself on knowing that going into that house would push your standards, would cause you to turn into somebody else, could maybe paint you in a bad light. And
Right.
I chose that no matter what, whether it meant losing or not, that I would play a game that I would respect and that I would leave knowing I did and played exactly how I wanted to play and for the glory of God.
Right.
And I played a very honest game comparative to a lot of players in past seasons, in my season. And I played a very loyal game. And I did a lot of things that were unexpected due to the fact that it wasn't the normal Big Brother move.
Right.
And I will never regret that because going into that house, that's what I wanted. I wanted to break the stereotype of that you had to go in there and be mean, be deceitful, be crazy, and do all these things. Because no, if you know who you are and you know you can hold yourself accountable and play the game and win and do what you need to do in a manner that shows people that, then you can still get far. And that's exactly what I did.
Now, one final thing, I mean, again, this goes back a little bit to Faith, but we saw, you were mad at the time of what was happening to Matt way back weeks and weeks ago. You got kind of dragged into that whole fracas with Angela. Now, obviously, Matt was last night was willing to bygones be bygones and willing to forgive. What do you think of Angela's reaction, that whole situation? And have you also spoken to Matt about anything in the future?
With the interaction that happened between Matt and Angela,
Yeah.
I would love to say that I'm surprised, but I'm not. She continually spoke about how she just did not respect him,
Right.
even after he was gone, and that she never regretted what she did or the move she made or what she said. So again, I'm not surprised by that. Am I hurt by it because I wish that she could handle it in a different way? Absolutely, because I do think that she has the capability of being a bigger, better person.
Mm-hmm.
But if that's how she wants to handle it, then at least she's staying true to herself. And she's the only one that was in that experience, truly.
Right.
I can't speak for her. Whatever happened, I feel bad for if it was really that bad. But what I do know is that I also walked into an experience of her getting absolutely yelled at and just degraded by Tucker in a game sense. And the fact that she still has laughs and jokes and so much respect for Tucker over Matt is just confusing to me. But again,
Right.
I'll never understand it. And I just hope that in her heart, she finds some forgiveness or peace with the situation and they can go about their lives, because I know that's what Matt wants. As for conversations with Matt between myself and him, I have talked to him very little.
Right.
It's been a very, very busy night into the morning. I have literally gotten no sleep. So
To be continued?
To be continued, yes, to say the least. I chatted with him a little bit about how his life's been on the outside, just about how crazy everything's been. And that was just the surface. We barely scratched that. So we are still to have conversations. But what I will say is that he's an amazing man. I do believe that in my heart. And anyone who ends up with him is a lucky woman. And if that's me, amazing. If it's not, I'm so excited to be friends with him.
Well, great. Well, again, Mackenzie, thanks for taking the time. Congratulations to you and all the best in the future for you.
Thank you so much.
Take care.